So you're thinking about getting into film photography. First of all, welcome to a world of waiting a week to see your photos, spending your life savings on cameras and film, and crying when you accidentally expose all your film. You're going to love it. So in this video, we're going to talk about the different types of film cameras that you can buy, and personally the ones that I think are best for beginners. A lot of it depends on the genre of film photography that you want to get into and how new you are to the photography space. I do want to premise this video by saying that the magic of your photos doesn't necessarily come from the camera. A lot of it comes from the film stock you use, the settings that you choose on your camera, and the whole scanning process of your film. The camera is just kind of a tool that you use to hold that film, and certain cameras kind of give you more control over the settings and things like that, and different cameras kind of like work for your lifestyle and whatever genre you want to go into. So yeah, that being said, we'll jump straight into it. I am going to be focusing on 35mm film. I am focusing on this size film, mostly because I don't want to overcomplicate everything. If we start getting into medium format films and all of that jazz, people can get like really overwhelmed, including myself. So if you're a beginner, I would highly recommend you start on 35mm film, and then if you like it, you can experiment with different sizes of films, different sizes of film cameras. Also, if you end up going into medium format, the cameras can get a lot more expensive, and so can the film. So I would just recommend starting on 35mm. It's widely used for a reason. First of all, we're going to start off with SLRs. SLRs are single lens reflex cameras. You can look through the viewfinder and you see exactly what is happening on the other side of the lens. It works through reflecting through a mirror on the other side. As you click the shutter, it like lifts up the mirror and it exposes the film underneath. But you don't need to know all that humble jumble jam. Jumping into the pros of these cameras, they are really cool looking in my opinion. You can change the lenses. So for this one I have a 70 to 210mm lens and a 50mm lens if I want to go a little bit further out. And you have total control over the settings. So you have total control over your shutter speed, your f-stop, and all of that jazz. So quite fun. The cons of these are that they are quite big and bulky if you have got a larger lens, so they can be a bit annoying to lug around and they're a bit heavy. It is a bit of a steeper learning curve, but you can get semi-automatic ones that you don't have to do all of the settings, if that makes sense. That could be like a nice way to ease into it. They are a little bit on the pricier side compared to other ones that I'm going to go into in a moment. A good classic SLR camera would be the Canon AE1, the Pentax K1000, the Olympus FM10, which is my choice, and the Nikon FE2, which is also a classic. These are sold everywhere and are quite cheap, so I would recommend looking out for these. Next up, we have point and shoot cameras. I usually recommend point and shoot cameras to people that are very new to photography and don't know any of the settings and kind of just want a camera to take with them in their bag when they go traveling, when they go to events or whatnot, and they want that film look and they want to dabble in the film space, but don't want to like go heavy into all of the settings and all of that malarkey. These cameras are my all-time favorite for taking on nights out, to big parties, to weddings and things like that, because I don't have to think about the settings. I just click a button, and the flash that they usually give off is really nice. It really gives that like iconic flash party photo, which I love. I like to think of them as the reusable disposable film cameras, and I often recommend them to my friends who are just getting into the space. Pros of these cameras is that they're super compact and easy to carry and very lightweight. They're automatic everything, it says it in the name, just point and shoot. The cons are that they're quite limited in control. You can't change your lenses on them, and you can't change really any of the settings. Like on this one, I can turn the flash on and off, and I can zoom in and out, and I can put a timer on. Focus is just whatever it decides to do that day. It's a bit of like an infinity focus. So yeah, you just pray that you got whatever you wanted in focus. In my opinion, point and shoots are the perfect way to capture everyday things with no fuss, really. The one that I have is a Minolta Freedom Action zoom. It was very cheap on eBay. I think it was like 10 American dollars. But some other ones that I have seen out there are the Canon Sureshot, the Minolta Himatic AF2, or the Olympus stylus Epic. The prices vary on these. You can get a very, very cheap one, or you could go for a very expensive one like the Contax. It's the Hollywood of point and shoots. So for your starter camera, I would really recommend an SLR or a point and shoot. There are other ones. There's like Oddity cameras and toy cameras and things like that, which you could go into, and Lomography have a really wide range of fun little toy cameras like that. So if you were more of an experimental kind of artist or photographer and you wanted to just dive into the deep end with things like that, you can look at toy cameras and Oddity cameras. The pros of these are that they're very fun, like you don't really know what you're gonna get, and that can be a positive or a negative, I guess. You can also get ones that have like 10 lenses in one, which take like 10 pictures at the same time. There's some crazy stuff out there, honestly. It's best to really like pick one that fits your vibe. The point and shoots, like I said, are really good for parties and like just fitting in your pocket or your bag or your fanny pack as you go out. If you're thinking about taking things a little bit more seriously, taking like portraits of friends or landscapes or things like that, I would really go down the SLR route. But if you have any questions on what camera you should get for your first camera, please let me know in the comments. Every comment helps, and every like or subscribe is really appreciated. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.